Now, as I'm doing this video right now, the New York stock price is trading at $5.57, up almost 11%. This is something that is pretty exciting because NIO, it is one of those stocks that we've been talking a lot about. And I remember some of the people that watched one of the video when I was saying that those prices below $4 were great opportunities. They said they were waiting for NIO to get to $2. We still had a lot of people saying they were waiting for the NIO stock to went to $2, but right now the NIO stock is trading at $5.57, up 10% or over 10%, which is something that is just so amazing, incredible to see. The market after the Q2 earnings is finally starting to realize the kind of a company or the kind of a giant NIO is becoming. It is for this reason that the market, it is starting to reward NIO. I'm excited. I'm very happy about this. I mean, NIO is not only just about selling cars. This is what some analysts today, I was reading an article, was discussing. This is the very same thing we've been discussing on this channel to say that NIO is not just about selling cars. NIO is also about the infrastructure that service the cars which the consumers buy. We're talking about battery swapping stations. That technology, though it might not be at a break-even point, I think sometime or somewhere, somehow, the market is realizing the kind of a potential that lies within that technology, the kind of a potential that lies within NIO power itself. This is something that is pretty exciting, and the kind of a support we've been seeing the government of China giving to NIO when it comes to deployment or assisting them by giving money to help them deploy charging infrastructure and battery swapping station, which is very important. I mean, last week we got the second Chinese government firm or company coming out and forming a strategic partnership with NIO, going to help them deploy battery swapping station, charging infrastructure, which is something that is just so amazing. I mean, it is amazing the kind of an assistance, of a convenient, which battery swapping station offers, not only to the NIO consumers, but to also the grid, the power grid. I mean, we saw the kind of help this battery swapping station was giving when there was a time of shortage of power in some of the cities in China, when the temperatures were around 50 degrees Celsius. We saw the NIO battery swapping station deploying power back into the grid so that the consumers, the residents around those cities, they can use that power from NIO battery swapping station for their household use. This is something that we see battery swapping stations able to do, which they are not just called grid stabilizers for nothing. And this massive news comes over and above the kind of sales that we've been seeing from NIO. I mean, Q2 earnings came out last week on Thursday. We saw NIO coming out better than what many of the people, so many of the analysts were expecting, which is why till today we are seeing the NIO share price, NIO stock price surging, rising, up 10%. This is something that is pretty exciting, and I'm happy to finally see NIO at least being in a rally for quite some time. I mean, ever since like almost 2 weeks ago. I mean, it's now almost 2 weeks seeing the NIO share price on the rise or surging, which is something that we missed dearly, because this is one of the stocks that was being punished so heavily, so massively, because of the earnings, low sales, which they were reporting, or they reported in Q1, which is something that is not that good. And to see NIO once again gaining investors' confidence, gaining institutions' confidence, it is something that is pretty good to see, because a lot of the people that once left NIO because of the share price, because maybe of the performance they were witnessing previously, are now coming back to the stock, are now talking about the stock. And those that were thinking NIO stock price will go to $2, I'm not saying now we won't go back to about $3 or $4, but chances are very high that after this rally we might not see those levels or those below $4 levels anymore. It is very possible, because things have changed. Fundamentally, things have seriously changed. Earnings have seriously improved, which is something that is pretty exciting. Gross margins have improved 9.7 percent is the kind of gross margins that NEO saw in Q2. Q3, we are going back over double digits when it comes to gross margins, but vehicle margin, it's already at over 12%, which is something that shows you the kind of company NEO is becoming. If you think the record that NEO produced Q2 of 57,373, think about the guidance that NEO just gave of Q3 of between 61 and 63,000. It shows you the kind of a company NEO is becoming. The president of NEO came last week and said that they are targeting to sell 20,000 vehicles, which that, like I always say, I'll say it again, that's a minimum. I think we are going to see more than that, because if Q3 NEO is already projecting 63,000, you can imagine the kind of cars they will be able to sell in Q4, especially that looking at the 128,100, which is the car sales or the vehicle sales that NEO has generated year to date. Me and you can agree that NEO, there's no way that they can just be selling an average of 18,000 from now until the end of the year. I think it is for this reason that I say the 200,000 or 220,000 for both Onvo and NEO, it's just the bottom. That's the lower guidance, right? And I think we're going to crash that and deliver somewhere between 230 250,000 deliveries this year, which will represent some massive growth into NEO, looking at the fact that NEO last year, 2023, they sold 160,000 deliveries. To see NEO going to sell over 230, around 230,000 deliveries this year, it shows a massive growth. It shows a good growth onto NEO, which is something that is just so amazing, incredible to see NEO being able to report or going to report this kind of growth. It is for this reason that the market realizes that NEO might not be even far off from getting to profitability. I mean, these Q2 earnings made a lot of people be optimistic about NEO and its future and where it could be next year around the same time, which is just so amazing, so incredible to see the kind of sentiment we are witnessing onto NEO. Today we up almost 11%, trading at $5.57. 3 weeks back we're trading below $4, and those that took those opportunities, those low trading price opportunities, I'm sure right now they are very excited. I had a friend of mine calling me, telling me or sharing the good news of saying that, yeah, because of the videos I was making and some of the transaction I was making 3-4 weeks back, and he also started buying NEO for the very first time. He's really thankful because it's sitting at almost 30%. And I told him that good for you, because myself, my average onto NEO is below $18, and therefore it's still very far off from me to get to break even. But you know what? I don't regret anything. This low trading price offered me an assistant, really helped me a lot, because I was able to bring down my average onto NEO from $36 by the time NEO was at an all-time high to now $17.98. This is something that is just so amazing. To get an opportunity to increase my holdings the way I have, I think it's just a blessing. And I tell you, once NEO head back to that all-time high, I'm telling you, I'll be one of the retail investors that will be seriously laughing at the kind of gains, the kind of returns I would have generated from NEO. And we're gonna get there. We're gonna go back to the all-time high, and those that persevere investing for the long term will definitely be rewarded, and they will also join the slogan that we always say, and that is blue sky is coming. Otherwise, that's all from me. I just thought I'd just give you this quick update. So tell me what you think about what we're seeing in the markets when we look into the NEO stock. Blue sky is coming. Those that have been loading, I'm sure they are quite very excited seeing the kind of gains that we are seeing onto NEO. Someone was sharing a sneak peek or a screenshot of saying that in the last month NEO has went up over 40%, which I think it shows you the kind of a company or the kind of a recovery we are seeing onto the share price. And this is nothing compared to what we are going to see in the near future. I mean, NEO has been punished for a long time. It has been one of the stocks that has been in the bottom of the belly for the longest time. And I think it's time that NEO becomes one of the stocks that gets rewarded by the market, because their fundamentals continue growing. Otherwise, that's all from me. I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey. Do your own due diligence before you buy NEO for the very first time. Otherwise, God bless you all.